So, the beards are back for the 4th time. This time, we have an excellent guest with us this week. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
I am pumped.
Me too. Who is this fantastic guest?
And there we have him. My name is Jakob Hultman. We have Samuel Linde with us.
I'm here.
Obviously, Buzz Aldrin is here as well. And the 4th person that you heard was the reigning Swedish champion, the almighty Pontus Strimling.
Checking in, sir. Checking
How are you
in.
today?
I'm excellent. This is such an honor to be one of the great beards of Westeros. I've had this beard. I don't think you know this about me, but I've had this beard for 22 years now, and it's been waiting for this moment.
I mean, there are definitely a lot of people who would say, how do you keep a 22-year-old beard that fresh? I mean,
see, for me, I want it long, but I have no beard growth here. Can you see that? You can't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, we can.
Anyway, so what happens is that when it goes too far, I get these 2 spikes, and I don't like that. So I keep the freshness by maintaining, by hiding my split beardness.
You could embrace it. Like I imagine that one of the guys we've been talking about previously on this cast, Dario Naharis, he probably has the same tendencies in his beard growth, and that's why he embraced it by intentionally splitting it. We think it's like a fashion statement, but it's because of his deficiency in the beard growth department.
apartment?
I don't know.
Does he have a beard apartment?
He should.
In
With
my
that beard,
household?
I think his beard should have his own apartment. Definitely.
Never heard of that, but it sounds like a great idea.
Let
A beard
this friend,
apartment.
you heard it here first.
I thought you meant that once Daenerys has her government, he will be in charge of the beard department.
Probably. Like a beard minister,
Yes.
secretary of beards.
Texture of beard. In
Wow.
my household, that being me and my son, the split beard is connected to Erik the 14th, who is a Swedish king who went mad and then was given poisonous pea soup from his brother. So it doesn't have any positive connotations here.
Oh, that's too bad. Did
We should do something about that.
Did the madness cause the split beard, or was the split beard the cause of the madness?
I think the split beard was there first, and I think it definitely was the cause of the madness,
Okay.
for sure.
Then I definitely I understand why you keep your beard trimmed to avoid that.
I mean, think about it. Do you know of anyone with split beard who is sane?
No. Now that you mention it, probably not.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And I mean, teaching your own son about madness and split beards, I obviously understand that you don't want to be one of those persons who have, and
I don't want to scare him.
you don't want to scare him.
I don't want to scare
I get that. So,
good.
for the people who don't know you, Pontus, who are you apart from being not split bearded?
I would say most importantly, I have partly crowned myself the team captain of Team Sweden in a Game of Thrones. It's
Yep.
something I take with a great deal of.
I think that's worthy of a golf applause.
Thank you. I take great pride in this position, especially since I took it before Swedes went out and did great things. So I can kind of claim that somehow my mental support was behind victories such as yourself.
You totally been mentoring these guys to their success. There's no doubt about that. I mean, my captain. I recognize your captaincy completely. You are and forever will be my captain, Pontus. Yep.
And you gave me a Captain America doll that's still around here.
Yep.
To show this time. So
Yep. That was a statement.
This is.
I think
I'm
it
getting
represented.
teary-eyed here, guys.
I think it represented the whole Swedish meta, past and future as well. It's for all of us, for generations to come. You are the captain.
People don't know this, but I can tell you truly, when I go to these big tournaments, Tonic and so on, the thing that makes me captain is that I care so much less about my own victories and so much more about keeping statistical track of all other victories.
That might be a good thing, that you don't care too much about your own results.
I mean, there are two things to say about this. First of all, with people who don't know you, Pontus, and I can definitely say for sure that you are correct in the statements that you are making. Last Stalek that we went to, you brought an iPad and you went around between the rounds to ask everyone, how did you do? How did you do? Oh, for the record, we are currently 72% of everyone has done a victory up until now. So we're doing great.
And I set targets beforehand.
You did.
Yep.
That we did beat in both melee and joust. Although in joust it was just above the target, whereas in melee, in Sweden crushed it.
Yep.
That is true.
I think we even had a guy in the cast being the top seed out of the melee. I don't know who it was, but it was probably me.
Yeah, it was.
That is true. That is true.
I'm neither champ nor people's champ, so I can at least be the.
You can be the Swiss champ of the melee in Stalek.
I can be the top seed. Yeah.
But I'm wondering here, and I love everyone in Team Sweden, but I'm wondering if we don't do better the higher percentage of beards that we bring to a competition. Because per person, we've never done as well as last year's World Championship. We sent only 2 people, Jacob and Andreas, both with fantastic beards. And they won both. No, wait. Jacob won.
I don't like this line of thoughts anymore.
Do you want us to cue the intro? The music?
Please. Thank you.
Yeah. I think we're moving on before things get out of hand here. Thanks for the introduction, Pontus. We're so glad to have you on. This is Great Beards of Westeros. We're happy that you're listening. And this is our intro music. Do you guys hear it as well?
Yeah, it's super catchy, man.
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
love it so much. Okay, so I just want to say one more thing because I said there are 2 things and then I only said one. So I just want to finish my thought about Pontus. The second thought is that Pontus, you are not only a team captain, but you also actually won something pretty great. You won Varberg Mulgulis 2015.
I did.
Would you by any chance say that you won the finals because you had a greater beard than your opponent?
Yes. I would say that I'm not that great of a player. I make lots of mistakes. I get nervous. I get tired. I can't keep the stamina up and so on. So I bring 2 things to the tournament. I bring my beard and I bring my deck. And I'm relying on those 2 to sail me through if I'm going to have a chance.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm just making statistics here, and so far every guest we've had on had beard, and they've won something. So yeah,
And Jonas has a beard coming, so I mean, it's gonna be something with his beard as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's great. And since we know you rely very heavily on statistics, Pontus, it's good that we can back these things up with facts. That we have successful people on because they have beards. I mean, their beards bring them success, and it's obvious.
Take a thing that like Varberg Mulgulis, which is perhaps the best competition in Thrones. Has
Without a
it
doubt.
ever been won by someone without a beard? No, it has not.
No.
There is a reason.
Yeah.
One would say that our first journey was won by a Frenchman with a somewhat patchy face, but still, yeah.
There's a beard there.
There is a beard.
It might not be a big beard yet, but there's.
But it's a beard. Correct.
He did have let's not linger too much on former victories, and instead look forward to how do we bring this great game into the future. But he did also have one ace up his sleeve by eating a kebab during the finals,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
definitely.
I think was what put him over the top.
And
He
for
was
the
perhaps the best looking person eating a kebab that was there.
Yeah. Probably like maybe the most beautiful person in the room, would you say?
in the whole
At that
wide room,
moment.
definitely.
Depending on the room.
Yeah, definitely
Probably.
in the top 3, at least.
Yeah. So, do we have a topic for this week?
Do we?
Apart from former champions?
I don't think
I think
so.
we
bearded or
can
not,
grab
but-
something out of our sleeves.
Yeah.
So Pontus, since we brought you on, how about you answer this question? How can we encourage more women to play this majestic game that we play, the Game of Thrones?
Wow, throwing a curveball there.
That's a big question. I wish I had an answer. Let's start there. Let's start being honest here. I have no answer. I
Yeah.
think there are things we can do that encourage it, but there's a lot of it's a big boys club right now. I don't know.
Let's.
I see some bring their girlfriend. That's really good. That's fantastic. But surely we got to find a way to encourage women to come along, even though their boyfriend isn't playing, or they might not even have one.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right, Pontus. And some might say that, I mean, why don't we ask a woman? How do we bring more women into this game? But I mean,
That's a very good point.
That's
a very
good.
good point.
I mean, to be honest, my honest answer would be that my fake beard hasn't arrived home yet, so I couldn't invite someone on the cast on my end because my fake beard is not here yet.
Do we currently have one active female player in Sweden?
Yes, but not on the East
Absolutely,
Coast.
we have it on the West Coast.
Yeah.
we actually, and I mean, it's a bit sad that we kind of bring this up as some sort of thing to brag about. But we had 10% female participants in our winter tournament in December in Varberg. Out of 30 players, there were 3 female players.
It's great.
So it's
That's much better than we're doing right here in Stockholm.
Yeah.
But I think that I mean, the question isn't just how to get them inside the door. The question is, how do we make sure that they don't feel uncomfortable once they're inside the door?
true, very true.
So, first of all, even though it would be nice to broaden the game to the second half of the population in the world, once they arrive, of course, the first rule of conduct is you can't make anything of it. You can't tell them, oh, I'm so glad to see a woman here. You can't say, man, do you look beautiful? You have to, play it really, really cool.
Even though that's your personal opinion, and even though that's how you do it in real life, you can't do that. I agree.
This isn't a bar.
I
This
mean,
is
I
Game of
usually do
Thrones.
that,
It's
like,
the
if
game
I-
that matters.
Exactly.
Yep.
If I would go out on the streets afterwards, after my few games at night, I see a beautiful woman, I would probably... No, I probably wouldn't go out there and say
You're a
that.
happily married man.
I probably wouldn't. So,
I like where you're going.
I do
I
it
like
at my
where you're
work
heading,
all the
Jakob.
time. I'm very...
I'm just
I'm
just
so glad
being...
to
I
see a
mean,
woman here.
we're in the sensitive corner, right? I
In
mean,
the sensitive corner.
definitely.
Yeah. But this is something. I mean, we could since obviously we could include women in this conversation. Obviously, like we stated beforehand. But
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Maybe,
yeah.
Maybe you should next time.
Yeah, but yeah, truly, we need to do that. And since Jakob has his fake beard is on back order, I think it's due to arrive sometime this week. Maybe we can have a female guest on with a fake beard, obviously. So how can let me put a little twist on this question. Do you think the presence or the lack of beards affect getting female players into the game?
The fact that they don't have beards?
Or the fact that there are bearded players, there are bearded characters in the game? Does the beards attract to the game? Does the beard turn people away? This is probably more a question towards the general population. It's not strictly aimed at women per se, maybe.
I would say that if we're talking about what brings us to this game, most of the people that come into this game come due to the fantastic world of George R.R. Martin. And there's 3 things that are special about that world compared to other fantasy, I think. One, he's killing off everyone. That's what everyone knows. But the second 2 would be the amazing beards and the fantastic female characters.
Yeah.
Which compared to other fantasy are just, deep, complex, full persons, you name it.
And those 2 attributes go very well together, I would say.
I would say yes. I would say come and bring your colorful Arya, Sansa, Caitlyn, Daenerys self and take that part of the world and bring that, or bring a fake beard. Either side you can pick.
Yep. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. Good.
So if you would give maybe like a hint or some tips to the general meta or the local people playing Thrones, Pontus, out there, how would they be more welcoming towards the female side? Should they bring extra fake beards for loan?
See, it's got to be something that we're not doing, right? It's not only are you asking me who is not a woman, but you're also asking me who is part of a meta who is completely failing at this.
That's why I'm trying to force something out of you.
So I think bringing a fake beard is as good idea as anything. I think we should all try. And then I think that the metas that manage best, if there's a meta who managed to get up to, say, 40% female participation at the tournament, shout it out. Come on here, come on wherever podcast. I mean, there's a million of them now, and tell the rest of us what you're doing. Because this isn't just a thing about, it's nice to have women there. In every area of society, we see that when we go from selecting only from half of the population to selecting from people in the whole population, competence goes up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the best potential player in the world, there's a 50% chance that's a woman. And now she's not playing? That's horrible. I want to sit across from her. I don't want to miss out on all of these fantastic players that just don't show up due to, I don't know, our culture.
Yep.
It's a very good point.
And there's been a lot of discussion. We won't rehash the arguments, the discussions that have been on various social media about these issues. So that is, it's obviously affecting the gaming culture in general, but it's definitely affecting our community that we are super proud of. We're so happy to be part of this, and we talk. We praise this community for being so good and so friendly and so inclusive, but like you say, Pontus, we're still missing out on so many people who could be potentially part of this community. So we need to do something, and without rehashing everything, I think we need to, first of all, like you're saying, see, is there anything that hinders people from crossing that threshold into this community? What can we do to eliminate that, to make people feel more welcome? And I mean, not to stop there, not to stop by how do we eliminate the excluding elements, but also how do we cultivate an inclusive, a really welcome environment. Not just, remove the hostilities, but create a very welcoming community that people want to be a part of. And that goes for everyone. That goes for I mean, in this particular case, women, but it also go for the those who are have a like they're challenging their beard growth. They might have a patchy beard.
Patch beard. Certainly.
They might go through that difficult phase where the beard is starting to grow out and it's itchy. They need to feel welcome as well. They need to find that community that I can be here. I can join this community. I can be myself. I can be included. People love me even though I'm going through a tough period with my beard growth.
We are prepared to see the beard inside you.
Yep. Oh,
Exactly, and like you said, Pontus, you've been struggling with split beards, and now you're here on the cast openly talking about it. It's pretty big for people to hear that. I think you're encouraging a lot of people out there.
yeah.
A younger version of me would have liked to hear someone else talk about split beard.
Oh, such wisdom.
So good. We need these people who can bring this experience, this life experience, and share it with the rest of the community. So super thankful for that. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being vulnerable to show that even though you have a great beard, Pontus, you're honest about the issues that you are facing.
Thank you for creating this safe zone where I feel free to express myself.
I mean, we
Awesome.
have this sensitive corner for a reason, right?
I would think so, yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Pontus. This has been a really good discussion, and I hope we can this can be a catalyst for further discussion, and hopefully we can have we will have our first female guest very soon in the future, with or without a fake beard. That's up to Jakob, but we're working on it. We definitely need to broaden. I mean, if we can do something to encourage this.
And really, let 1,000 flowers grow. Anyone out there trying something? I know that Buzz burns for this topic, and I know that he's excellent at creating prizes. So I'm sure there's prize support for the meta that's best at including women in the group.
Yeah, looking forward to see what he's coming up with. No pressure.
Well, okay.
You said something about flowers, Pontus.
Oh,
Maybe
yes.
that brings us to the next question.
It's my question for you.
Yeah.
It's springtime in Sweden. And for those who don't live here, I'm not sure you fully understand what this means. We've been in darkness. We are children of the winter, and spring has just come. It's that white bird arriving, the sun, and so on. And I want to celebrate springtime. And what's more typical of spring than flowers? This is when the flowers come out. So I want to use flowers to accessorize my beard. So I'm wondering, to the guru of all things beard, what flowers should I pick? How do I do this?
Wow. This is a really, really good question. And it's one that has probably a variety of answers, depending on what kind of flowers you have access to. If you live in Sweden and you're starting to, the flowers just start to come up out of the ground, I would say, I mean, take what you can find. I don't want you to go to the flower shop to pick up an expensive bouquet and start doing your amateur flower arrangement things. Dissection, yeah, that's a good word for it. Take what you have, experiment. I would say use a good foundation, some kind of oil perhaps, something that makes the flowers stick a little better. But in general, improvise, see what works for your beard, see what matches your beard color and your hair color. Do you have something that can sort of use as an accent for that? There's a variety of ways. But I'd say springtime is...
attach them?
What?
Do you use anything to attach them, or do you just plant them in the beard, or is there some...
I would say the lesser beard you have, I mean, the thinner your beard is, the more difficult you will have attaching flowers to your beard. I would recommend keeping a little bit of the
stem.
The stem, yeah. So you can sort of so they can
really
stay
get in there.
really getting there. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people
Stick.
weaving flowers together in their beards.
Yeah, you could do that, but then you'd have to remember to water your beard every night so the flowers don't die. And I mean, if you look around, if you come to my house and look at the way I take care of my house plants, you'd see that not a good idea. My recommendation would be to just go out every couple of days, find new fresh flowers, replace the old ones. Because then otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't matter how nice a beard oil you're using, you would start to smell like dead flowers, which is not very nice. So
it
keep it
sends
fresh.
a whole different picture to people around you, right? If you walk with flowers all over your beard, that's a beautiful thing. If
Yep.
they're dead flowers, feels more like a dark magician from some Dungeons and
Yep,
Dragons
yep.
campaign.
Couldn't it be a good intimidation factor for tournaments, though? Dead flowers hanging out of your beard.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, I can
if,
see that.
if Tyrell was doing as well as Lannister is doing right now, I might go for that.
Yep.
Ladies' nights.
Create an
It's
anti-Tyrell
ladies'
deck
nights.
and then just dead flowers in your beard.
Oh wow, such a strong message. Such a strong message. I don't fear your flowers. Look, these are dead flowers. You will be dead. Yeah, that's a very strong message.
Oh, it's
Bro,
very
this strong.
It's very symbolic.
Very much so. Very much.
But we're running. Time is running really fast at the moment, so maybe we should go further into the episode. We have a beard of the week, courtesy of Pontus. Can you tell us who it is?
This is a hidden gem. Ariahota, which is a card that we see far too rarely, partly because he's too expensive. But he has this beard that makes you wonder, does he have a full beard? Does he have handlebars? And it's in an excellent blondish color. I truly recommend you to. Do we have the picture up? Will they be able to
On
see
the
it on the
video, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Excellent. I think that's a fantastic beard.
It's such a good point. I just want to add that, like you said, Pontus, you don't really know the form and the length of the beard, and also, is that his hair? Is it yellow? Is it that blonde? I mean, it goes so well together with that beard. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely, and it's like, sometimes having a little bit of clothing on is a little bit more enticing. You start to wonder what is under there, and this is the same thing. Like, you just want his arm to be removed. You want to step into the light. So yeah,
It's a
I
little
really
bit
like it.
compared. It's a little bit compared to Aaron Damphair as well. You don't really see the end of the beard. It just goes into the clothing, and like you said, you start to wonder what's real, what's pure beard, and what's clothes. So,
Absolutely. But then again,
Yeah.
Aaron, they're polar opposite. Aaron Damphair is the proudest member of perhaps the best beard house in the game. Whereas Ariahota is this stranger put into Martell, where beards are almost non-existent. And there he is with something hidden. He's not from there. He's not of Dorne. He's, he came there with his axe and his beard.
such
Wow.
depth. Wow,
Two foreign elements brought into this culture.
giving me chills. He's a refugee in foreign land. Still brings out the handlebars. I love it.
That's it.
It's huge. He's my hero.
I love this pick, Pontus. This is a great selection.
Thank you.
Buzz, you want to add something?
No. Maybe. Maybe. We can go to the next one because it's a double header. It's an honorable mention and dishonorable mention, like previous weeks, in the same card. In the same card.
Shall I tell it?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay. So this is. I mean, we don't have that many cards in 2.0 yet, and we 1.0ers we're worried when things don't get better but get worse. And usually, for most cards, things are getting better. I love most of the card designs, but here's one that worries me: Roderick Castle. Okay. in 1.0 had these very tight whiskers. I mean, they were sharpened, they were treated, and they came out very well in the picture. In 2.0, it's this fussy white, I don't know what it is. It's not sharp, it's not fixed, it's not clear. It's like I don't know. I feel it got worse.
Yeah. If you look at the picture in 2.0, it's almost as if he has. You can imagine him being very, very light-skinned.
Yes.
And then he got a little bit of tan, or maybe just a little, from being out in the cold winter wind.
Like he has
and
an
then
albino patch.
Yeah, and then he shaved his whiskers. So this is actually his white skin underneath. I don't know. It's almost like that. It's pretty terrifying.
And considering that in the TV show, this is one of the best beards.
Yeah.
This is the guy who ties his beard together. Because that's how good it is, right?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And also, Samuel, you made a point off air about this character and the art in the second edition as well.
Yeah, I did. It's probably it looks almost like he's the first, probably the first guy in Westeros with a cell phone.
Yeah,
and maybe that's why he's staring off in the distance, because no one picks up his calls. Because
it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
He's the first. He's the only guy with a phone. There's probably a guy down in Dorne with a phone, but the connection there is just bad. So
I mean, it's so windy from up in the Winterfell. So
yeah, totally.
Being the first guy with a phone is horrible. It's gotta be
so
frustrating.
Wow. It's gotta be so. You've got this huge and great technology, and you're just alone.
I can call anyone that has a phone, which is no one.
Yeah,
breaks your heart.
Anything else?
Breaks your heart.
Anything else to add to Castle?
I really like your pick, Pontus. It's great. I
mean, the first edition version as well. He looks almost like a slightly aged Wolverine.
Old Man Logan.
Yeah, which in my book is a really good. That's 2 thumbs up.
I mean, if you imagine Old Man Logan walking up there in Winterfell, it's almost Roderick.
Yeah,
that would be a good position for him, actually.
Yeah, really
would be. Someone should pitch that to
training
Marvel.
The Star Kids. That's Wolverine stuff.
Maybe is it Sony or Fox that has the rights to do the movies?
It's Fox.
It's Fox. Yeah, maybe now that they've when they're finished with Wolverine 3 and they want to keep the rights to that, maybe they should do an Old Man Logan in Winterfell movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
a crossover. That's
crossover.
A good idea.
With his cell phone, no connection, no one picks up his calls. He gets angry, furious.
I would watch it.
Want to get his revenge on the world. Yeah,
I'll be there in the premiere.
I have something I would like to see in this movie.
Yep.
It is actually the tonic of this week.
Ooh, wow.
I think it's coming from Samuel, this one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to pick up one of these myself yet, because it's all gone. They're out of stock, but a friend of mine on Facebook linked to this amazing glitter beard balm. It's great. It's handmade. It's tons of natural ingredients. You have rice bran oil, you have beeswax, cocoa butter, etc. But the killer ingredient is cosmetic glitter. So you have basically a beard balm, like things we have talked about previously on the cast, things you can use to apply to your beard to get it all shiny and get it, untangling your beard, so you don't get tangled in the beards. Hashtag. But this one also adds a glitter. A couple of months ago, I spent, I would say, weeks on YouTube finding, guides to how do I apply glitter in my beard to get it to stay. You're going to a party and you want to look good. And I mean, you'll probably go for your natural look. Just add some oil, maybe a tonic, maybe a beard pomade. I don't know if you want to do something crazy. But that extra little thing, the glitter, the things that really puts you in the festive mode. sometimes that's lacking, and it's really hard to do if you don't have the right products. But I think this one, this tonic of the week, is a killer product. You know, you're going away for a party, just put some glitter beer balm in your beard, and you're gonna be the star of the show. It's gonna be amazing.
We talked about being intimidated by beards. How intimidated wouldn't you be of this at a tournament?
Wow.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thinking up deck ideas. I like what decks can I combine with this product, and the mind just reels.
For me, Jacob, glitter beard, come in, and when you enter the hall, Superstar by ABBA turns on.
Wow.
I mean, hey man, the chills going through the hall.
It's gonna happen.
All of us for Varberg, Morgulis.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. We just gotta get our hands on this amazing on-hand lotions glitter beard balm.
That's currently unavailable.
But it's
It will
going
be
to be
available
available
again soon.
Oh, it'll be available.
It will be.
It's on.
Gotta be.
Okay, that's great. So, are we happy about that?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Good episode. Good time.
Cool.
36 minutes or something like that at the moment. But it's not over yet. We have Swedish lessons,
Obviously.
obviously.
Swedish lessons.
So
Yay!
we've been talking about including women and stuff. And one of the words that I tried to use in English in one of these discussions previously is tolkningsföreträde. Pontus.
Tolkningsföreträde is a fantastic Swedish word because it is long and it contains some of the vowels that are unique to Sweden. It means the person who has the experience to speak on the issue. So, how is it for a woman to enter a room full of male geeks who suddenly start staring at her? Well, I can guess and I can talk about it, but a woman who's done it has tolkningsföreträde. So her version of the experience trumps mine because she actually knows what she's talking about.
And in English, it becomes interpretative prerogative, I think.
Well, I like tolkningsföreträde better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's stick with that.
It rolls off your tongue more easily. At
Yeah,
least for me.
Tolkningsföreträde, yes.
At least for me.
Tolkningsföreträde.
And that's why you should learn it.
Not to confuse anyone, it's one word.
Oh, yes.
Tolkningsföreträde.
So, there is this other word that's just, it oozes Swedishness when you say
Yeah.
it.
It's a little bit easier.
A little bit.
It's shorter. It's fika. And fika, we'll be very clear with it. Fika means not just having coffee. You can have coffee, you can have tea, but you have to eat something, like a sandwich, or possibly a cinnamon bun. That's a fika, those together. And in Sweden, we have morning fika, which is when you come into the office. It's not breakfast. You already had your breakfast. You come into the office and you have morning fika. And then in the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, there's afternoon fika. And then late in the evening, say 10, 11, there's evening fika.
Now all of the UK people, the British people that listen to this, they're like, "What? That's like tea, isn't it?"
You'd think, and they do have high tea and sometimes, but they eat these tiny things with high tea, like tiny little biscuits, whatever. This isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about proper sandwiches. We're talking about cheese. We're talking about
Cinnamon
ham,
buns, sometimes cake.
And our cinnamon buns are big, or cardamom buns. These are big things, or cake even. You're supposed to eat a lot during fika. And this is big in Sweden. I would say that when Americans ask someone out, they go for a drink. In Sweden, the most normal way to ask someone out would be to say, shouldn't we have a fika together? It's the way we interact. It's the way we meet. everyone do fika.
Yep.
And I don't think there's an English equivalent of the word.
No, I don't think so.
There is not.
Which is sad, because you gotta have your fika. What else do you do during your day? Work all day without
I
a
don't know.
fika break?
It's true.
That sounds horrid.
Yeah.
Being Sweden, of course, you get paid during your fika break.
Oh, obviously, yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Twice a day. Twice.
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
All right. So
Awesome.
not only do we have Swedish lessons in our outro from this episode on, we do have a viewer shoutout, and I hope we will get more of these. But the first one is from Ryan Tebow in our meta. He had a joke about the beard, and so he recorded it, and we're gonna show it here live.
Hello, this is Ryan, and I thought about my favorite beard of Westeros when I was watching an episode of Sex and the City. So my favorite beard is Renly Baratheon. So you might be thinking Renly doesn't have a beard. Well, he actually does, and his beard has a name, and her name is Marjorie Tyrell. So that's my favorite beard of Westeros.
All right.
I love it so much.
Had you seen this previously, Samuel?
I saw it when you linked it.
Hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Shout out to Ryan. You're a good guy.
And on that note, what? Are we done? I think so.
Yeah. Although we need Samuel, we need to give everyone their weekly dose of wax your tips.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we're definitely signing off with our our usual shout out to you, our dear listeners out there. You need to take care not only of yourself but of the people around you. So please wax your tips and tip your waitresses.